Hey everyone, I hope you all are enjoying Launch Week 9. For this next session, I am joined by Sam Kennedy, Senior Director of Product Marketing at Crestron. Sam, first of all, how's it going?
It's going fantastic. Great to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited that we're having you. So, first of all, let's talk about what involves a high quality meeting room experience because I've talked with you before about how it's really just wild, wild west out there right now. So, defining high quality is a little bit hard, but can you try?
Yeah, it's I agree that it's the the Wild West right now, and that there's all sorts of things being thrown around, and the reality is a lot of people are have been in a bit of survival mode and putting any type of technology in their rooms. But
Right.
I think the experience that users are starting to expect is much higher, and therefore you need that high quality meeting experience. But my definition is that you're going to have is it's going to be a really exceptional audio, going to be very exceptional video, that the experience is going to be very simple. Potentially the whole experience will be automated, or the user will just have to click the join button.
Hmm.
I think meeting equity, I know that's been a bit overused term in the industry,
Right.
but I think that that is still very critical. And, what do I mean by meeting equity? That everyone can clearly see, everyone can clearly be heard, everyone can clearly be seen, everyone can clearly be heard, that the access to the meeting tools is equal to everyone, and that everyone feels engaged into the meeting, that they feel that they not only can they be seen and be heard, but they feel like they can. In many ways, I think a remote or hybrid meeting experience should still give you a high quality meeting experience, with hybrid participants, should
Hmm.
give you the same feelings that you're all in the same room. That's really that to me defines what a high quality meeting experience really is.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. So, in terms of making sure everyone is seen and everyone is heard kind of on an equal playing field, where do you see AI playing into that or maybe even helping with that?
Yeah, I think AI is really critical, is driving those high quality media experiences. And I think it has been over the last few years, but it's
Right.
really starting to ramp up and become top of mind. AI has been impacting our industry around things like noise, audio, and
Mhm.
blocking out noise. And I think it's been, I mean, think about how it's redefined our industry,
Right.
and where things like, through the pandemic, where all these people were working from home, but you're able to block a lot of that noise. I mean, I'm on calls at least a few times a week where someone says to me, I'm sorry about the noise of something happening, some construction happening, or the lawnmower or whatever. And you don't hear it on the far end. And so AI has had a pretty significant impact into our industry already. I expect, as we look at the next 12 months, I think a lot of that is going to continue, where we're going to see lots more innovations around audio that's going to drive that experience. I think we're going to continue to see a lot of innovations around video. I think that when we think of camera tracking and camera framing and multiple participants in the video streams, AI
Mhm.
has been impacting our industry, and I think it will continue to impact, as we look forward to the next 12 months, 24 months. So AI has a big impact around audio and video. One of the areas that I think we're going to start to see some tremendous growth in is things like AI assistants, like Copilot from Microsoft. I think that when we look at technologies like Copilot, the real killer app for AI assistants really is in meeting experience, taking notes, driving action items, catching me up if I'm late to the meeting. And so I think AI is going to have a significant impact into meeting rooms, as I think it already has and will continue in the near future around audio and video. And then as those assistants, I see it for being a real big impact over the next 12 to 24 months.
Where do you see automation falling in this as well? Because I think that you were kind of talking about that could make everything a little bit more efficient and could also help kind of streamline that end user experience.
Yeah, I think the one of the big trends, as Copilot and those AI assistants start to drive your meeting experience,
Hmm.
well, the interaction with the technology in the room, I think, is a next wave of what we're going to start to see. So
Right.
it's not only is it just meeting assistants taking my notes, but how do I interact with the meeting itself to be able to automate what's happening in the room? And as coming from Crestron, I think Crestron's well poised to deliver a lot on those capabilities, that automating the overall experience. I think we've been doing this for Crestron's been doing automation for 50 years.
Yeah.
And so, but that overall experience, when we talk about high quality meeting experience, someone just wants to walk in the room, they want to click the join button, or they just want to walk in the room, and it automatically, it knows that I just walked into the room, the lights change, maybe the shades go down, maybe it looks at my calendar and knows, okay, you need to be in a meeting. It's going to be this type of a meeting. So change the lights to be more of a collaborative type of a session, or more of a, we're going to have to go over numbers. So change the lights so that we can focus on that. So the automation of the experience is, I think, has been critical, will become even more critical as we look to the next few years.
Okay, very cool. So yeah, like you said, we were keeping everything really high level, but I wanted to ask a little bit more about, what Crestron is doing. You said you guys have been in automation for years upon years. So with the growing demand for what people are asking for and needing in meeting rooms, which is a lot of time, a multi-camera setup, how is Crestron adapting to kind of meet this new need?
Yeah, and again, it goes back. A lot of our focus has been going back to meeting equity and how do I deliver
Hmm.
that quality experience and making everyone feel that they're always active participants in the meeting, that I'm always being seen, that I'm always on video, and I don't want to think about the technology. Well, Crestron, we acquired a company about 2 years ago called One Beyond that had the industry leading multi-camera solution, and we've been heavily investing into that space. We were the first multi-camera Microsoft Teams certified solution in the market. We recently, in January, we launched a set of new cameras. Those cameras have quite a bit of artificial intelligence and camera tracking, and I can do multiple cameras. There's all sorts of new innovations that we're embedding inside of the cameras, or that can participate in our multi-camera Automate VX solution. So we are heavily investing, and I would say Crestron is leading the market in that multi-camera. Now, the one thing I would say, one maybe a little nuance there, is the industry does seem to be kind of going in two ways, where on one hand, we're seeing a center of the table, maybe towards smaller rooms. So we're seeing some vendors really focusing on that center of the table multi-camera solution. Our approach is more of I call it an outside in versus an inside out, right? Those center of the table, inside out camera view. And what we're really focused is on that outside in. And that outside in is a little more focused on, delivers more on little larger rooms, medium-sized rooms, more high-impact spaces, maybe spaces that aren't necessarily, they can be misshapen or be divisible rooms. So for us, we are very much focused on delivering and leading that multi-camera space.
Cool. So when people are selecting what meeting room solutions are going to work for their conference room setup or their huddle room setup or their flex space setup, what have you these days, what are some top factors that people should consider?
Yeah, when I'm talking to customers, areas that I would encourage them to be looking at is flexible solutions. One of the things that I've been in the industry over 25 years, and at no point in time have we just seen the pace of evolution with features. I mean, the velocity of features has never been this fast, and so keeping up with that pace of features has, I think, a real challenge to customers. And so what you want to put is solutions that are going to give you the most flexibility, so that as some of these new features start to come available, you want to be able to take advantage of them as quickly as you can, or you want to be able to pivot off of an existing strategy to take advantage of these. So flexibility would be a big one. You want to spend as much time as you can to align with your platform of choice, be it Microsoft, Cisco, Zoom, whoever that is. You really want to have a really good alignment there. You want to drive as much consistency in your rooms as possible. For years, I would say consistency drives adoption. So the more consistent experience you can have in rooms, the better you're going to ultimately get. You do want to align with bring your own device for those customers that have multiple platforms that they need to connect to. You want to make sure that you're aligning to what your BYOD strategy should be. But again, I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier, is that quality of experience. You want to put in the best possible solution that you can afford, that gives you the flexibility, that gives you those integration points. The expectation of the users is that they don't. I think when my speaking with end users, they don't want just a webcam in a room.
Right.
For most rooms, right? Their expectation of the quality of experience is they want something better than they're going to get at their desk, and so therefore you really want to emphasize what is the overall quality of experience.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we kind of talked about how right now the market is just kind of changing at an extremely rapid rate. But if you had to kind of, make a prediction, where do you see the future of meeting room technology in the next 5 years, but maybe just 1 year?
Yeah. Well, again, I think no matter, I believe for the foreseeable future, be it 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, you're still going to need microphones. You're still going to need speakers. You're still going to need cameras.
Right.
It's really how does that all come together? And I think I don't see any of that really changing anytime soon. I think a lot of the innovations around AI are going to drive big impacts, but it's still going to go back to the basics. It's still going to be audio, video, content sharing, camera, what are the camera needs? So I think we're going to continue as an industry really driving that overall experience. And again, I think the AI is going to have a big impact, but AI driving a lot of what we've talked about, AI around driving control, automation, meeting assistance. That's what big trends and big things that we're going to see over the next couple of years.
Awesome. Well, last question I have for you, Sam, is where can people find out more about you, connect with you, maybe on LinkedIn? And next final question is where can people find more information about Crestron?
Yeah. So again, anyone can find more information about me on just LinkedIn at Sam Kennedy. I would say the big events coming up for us. Of course, you can go to our website at crestron.com, but we have a big event coming in March around the Modern Work Summit. We have our master's training, which is going to happen in Orlando at the same time. And then for us, we are hard at work at InfoComm right now. So definitely come check us out at the booth at InfoComm here in 2024.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it. Well, thank you so much, Sam, again, for joining us for launch week. But yeah, I'm going to get back to it. And thanks again so much for joining me.
Thank you. Have a great week.